Hello, my curious prodigies. How you all are doing? I welcome you back to this wonderful channel and this phenomenal session. Okay. I hope you all are doing fine, great, and safe, enjoying very well. So let's start this wonderful session. Okay. So today we are going to look about and into the arithmetic progression. And do you know what I personally prefer to say these things? I prefer it saying that this is the language of numbers. Okay, the numbers are going to communicate with you. I am going to communicate with you. You are going to communicate with me with the help of you can say messages, comments, and the everything else. Okay, come on, let's get started. And moreover, this session is going to be super beneficial for students from grade 8 to up to 10th in a majority part, irrespective of what, irrespective of boards. So just sit back, relax, and enjoy this session. This session is going to be bilingual. Moreover, we will be using 80% of our communication as English and rest 20% as Hindi. चलिए ठीक है, start करते हैं. And before moving ahead, let's know something about your mentor. Okay, so my name is Adarsh. I welcome you again to this session, and here is a few brief about myself. You can see I am a master of mathematics. I have taught to such wonderful students for more than 4,000 plus hours. I had served at various EdTech institutes and had served in various projects. Come on, let's get started for this session. Okay, so the very first thing what we need to look into it is the learning targets. Okay, the very first thing whenever we start a session, we need to fix our targets. Okay, and in this session, what are our targets? So our targets are to look into the definition and meaning of the arithmetic progression, the types and important terms, then the concepts and formulas, and last but not the least, the Olympiad run. Okay, come on, let's get started and let's look into the definition that what does an arithmetic progression means. Okay, so it is what? It is a list of numbers in which the terms are obtained by adding a fixed number. Okay, to the preceding term except the first term. Okay, it is called as the arithmetic progression. Now, whenever I will teach you or tell you any definition, what you need to do is you need to look into a few words which are new to you, or you can also call them as what? As the highlighted words or the important terminologies. Over here, it is known as term, a fixed number, and you can say the first term. These are the three things, the three keywords which we need to look into the things, and rest is very easy for us. Okay, so let's understand this definition with the help of a few examples. Okay, you can see over here that we have two of the examples. The very first is 100, 70, 40, 10, and so on. The next one is what? 200, 250, 300, 350, and up to 700. Okay, so let's see what three things we need to look. The very first was the term. So in a list of numbers, every number is known as the term. This is the first term, this is the second, this is the third, fourth, and so on. Now, with the help of first term, how can we find the second term? Okay, let's look into this. See, the very first term is always of your choice. Okay, so see, my choice was to take 100 as my first term, and how may I obtain 70 from 100? So the answer is very easy, sir. Just add minus of 30 to it and you will get back to 70. Perfect, kudos, great job. Now, how may I reach to 40 from 70? In the same manner, sir, we just need to add minus 30 to it and we will be reaching to 40. In the same manner, we will reach and move to 10, and then so on we will move ahead. Now, this is the common difference. Okay, and you can also see over here within the definition that we are adding a fixed number. Okay, so minus 30 was what? Minus 30 was the fixed number which I was adding to its preceding term except the first term, and I was getting the next terminology or the next term and the next digits of numbers. Okay, so in this manner you had seen what does the first term means. Then we had also seen that what is the fixed number which we are adding, through which we can move ahead in the list of numbers, and in this manner we will get what? We will get an arithmetic progression. Okay, I hope so that that definition is clear to all of you. Now think for a moment, okay, and try to configure what is the difference between the first example and the second example. I will give you a couple of seconds and then I will explain it to you. You can pause the video and you can look into it. Okay, so the very first thing over here is what you can see is that within the first example we are having the negative fixed number. In the second example, we are having a positive fixed number. This was the very first thing which you need to find into it. And the next one is, this is not defined. You cannot define the last term over here, but over here, the last term has been defined. Now, to get into these things, we need to switch to next slide. Okay, and over here we can see as that the fixed number is called as the common difference, as I had told you, and it could be either positive, negative or zero. I had given you an example of positive and negative in the just previous slide. जीरो के लिए आपको कुछ नहीं करना है, सिर्फ एक ही नंबर को रिपीटेडली लिखिए and it would be your arithmetic progression where common difference is going to be zero. Okay, and through the help of the two examples हमने ये भी देखा कि कौन सा finite हो सकता है और कौन सा infinite progression हो सकता है. Over here the very first example is of an infinite progression and the second one is what? Yes, you are correct. It is what? It is a finite progression. Okay. Moreover, each number within the AP. Okay. AP is the acronym for arithmetic progression. We will be calling it in the rest of the session so that we can use it frequently. Okay. And it is known as what? It is called as term. Now, moving ahead to the power of concepts. Okay. Please remember one thing. Whenever we are learning something, we need to grasp what the concepts. The more strengthened your concepts would be, the higher you would be able to solve the questions. Okay? And whenever you are solving something or learning something, try to question yourself. Why and how? Even from the teacher as well. Try to ask your mentor that how these things have came, what is the basic, so that these things and the basics would be developed within you as well. Okay, and you will be able to solve these things very quickly and easily. Okay, now see, within the concepts, the very first concept is the general form of an AP. It is always written as A, then A plus D, then A plus 2D, A plus 3D and so on. Remember the AP which I had told you, it was 100, 70, 40, 10 and so on. Okay. Now, if I write it once again, 100, 70, 40, 10 and so on. Now, over here, we had seen that the difference was what? Minus of 30. Okay. So, this is what? This is A plus D, where A is what? A is the first term. Okay, it is defined over here that A is the first term and D is the common difference. I had written both of the things. Now, look very carefully. When you will add A and D, you will come up to what? 70. Now, make it twice. It will become minus of 60. When you will add A plus 2D, you will come to what? The third term. Okay. In the same manner, these things go on. A is the first term, A plus D is the second, A plus 2D is third, A plus 3D is fourth and so on. Now, try to remember with the help of example whatsoever I had told you, so that we can move ahead and look into the next thing. Chaliye, let's move ahead. Now, whenever you have an AP with yourself and the question or the examiner or the mentor asks you to find the nth term of an AP. For an example, consider the same, that 100, 70, 40, 10, and I tell you that find the 10th term. Now, instead of having a repeated addition with the first term or the preceding term, how can we calculate it? We can calculate it very easily with the help of this small yet very powerful formula. Okay, and what does this state? It states that the nth term is calculated as first term plus n minus 1 into d, where n stands for the number of term we need to calculate. Let's solve this thing and let's understand this thing with the help of an example. We have an AP over here as 2, 7, 12. Now, dearest prodigies, come on, give your best and tell me two things over here. What is the first term and what is the difference over here? What is the common difference over here? Come on, give it a try. Till then, I will take a second and let's start. Okay, so over here we can see that 2 is our A, and if I move from 2 to 7, I am adding 5 to it. In the same, 7 plus 5 would be 12, 12 plus 5 would be 17, and so on. So the D, the common difference what we had with us is plus of 5. Okay, we want only these two things with us. Now, which number of term has been asked to us? The 10th number. That means the value of n would be what? 10. Now, try to recite the formula with me. The nth term states as a plus n minus 1 into d. Okay. Now, let's substitute the value of these things. So, a 10 would be what? A is what? A is 2 plus the value of n is 10, 10 minus 1 into d, 5. Okay, so 2 plus 10 minus 1 is 9, 9 into 5 is 45. This would be is equals to what? 47. And the 10th term for this particular AP is going to be what? 47. Kudos, great job if you have calculated faster than me, or even you had got the correct answer. Okay, and no need to worry if you have not got the correct answer. We will practice a few more questions, we will look into more concepts, and we will make sure to strengthen this chapter. Okay, come on, let's move ahead and let's learn a few more things. Okay, so the next thing which we need to learn is that we need to calculate the sum of first n terms of the given AP. Okay, suppose that you have an AP and the examiner is asking you that tell me the sum of first 10 terms, tell me the sum of first 15 terms or first 200 terms, anything, which whatever he wishes to ask from you, he may ask. Okay, so you need not to worry about those things. These things are calculated just like this. Okay, and you can see over here that the sum of first n terms is calculated by three formulas. The very first and the basic formula which is applied in each and every question is that n by 2 bracket 2a plus n minus 1 into d. Okay, where n stands for what? N stands for the number of terms. Okay, now recall the formula which we had calculated just as of now to calculate the nth term. It states as a plus n minus 1 into d. Now substitute this value through this. Okay, this 2a can be written as a plus a, and keeping an a and these things as an, we can come to this formula. Okay, and it states as n by 2 a plus nth term. Okay, moreover, if we have a finite series, a finite AP with us, and L is what? L is the last term. So we can calculate the sum of first n terms with the help of sum of n terms, n by 2 a plus L, where L stands for what? L stands for the last term. Okay, I hope so you have got the basics of these formulas. You can take a screenshot or you can just pause the video and note them down. Come on, let's move ahead and let's have some practice. Okay, and you need not to worry about the level of the questions. These are very basics. Okay, the advanced level questions we will be solving in the next session. Okay, so just sit back, relax and try to solve this. Now over here you are not provided with an AP. You need not to worry, dear. We are going to solve this very easily. Okay, let's have a look very carefully. It states that you need to find the sum of first 20 terms, okay, of the list numbers whose nth term is given as an, and it's equal to 3 plus 2n. Now, can you calculate the zeroth term of any AP? Try to think about it. And the answer is no. We can always calculate the first term and then we move to second term. There is no zeroth term within any AP. So the value of n always starts from 1 and then moves ahead. Okay. So we just need to do what? We just need to calculate the first term. Calculate the first term. It's going to be what? 3 plus 2, that is equals to 5. Okay. Now, what we need to do? We need to calculate the sum of first 20 terms. Okay. So we have got n as 20. We have got a as 5. Now, what we can do? See, try to remember the formula of sum of n terms. It states as n by 2 2a plus n minus 1 into d, or you can also calculate it as sum of n terms is equals to n by 2 a plus a n. It states over here. Okay, so for this thing what we need to do, we need to calculate the nth. That means what? The 20th term. Calculate the 20th term directly. 3 plus 2 into 20, that would be 40 plus 3, it's going to be 43. Okay, so what we need to do, we just need to put all the things into this formula. We can also calculate it with the help of this, but for this formula we need to calculate the second term a2 as well. Then we will calculate the difference by subtracting a1 from a2 and then we will get the difference. Instead of that, we can apply a short trick. Okay, so we have a1 a20 and just simply put it over here. The sum would be what? 20 by 2 bracket 5 plus 43. This would be 48 and this would be as 10. So the sum is going to be what? 480. This would be your answer. Now, let's reaffirm all the process by the help of the longer formula. Okay, let's look into that as well. That sum of n terms is equals to n by 2 2a plus n minus 1 into d. Okay, let's try to solve the things from over here. So n is same 20, a is same what? A was 5. Now to calculate d, let's calculate a2 at first. So a2 would be what? 3 plus 2 into 2, 4, and that would be what? 7. Now, the difference would be a2 minus a1. It's going to be 7 minus 5, that is 2. Now, put all the values in this given formula. That would be sum 20 by 2 twice of a, 5 into 2, plus n is what? 20. 20 minus 1 into d is 2. Okay, this would be 10. Now 5 into 2 would be 10 and 20 minus 1 would be 19. 19 into 2 is going to be 38. 38 plus 10 would be 48 and 48 into 10 would be 480. We are reassured that we have learned each and everything very correctly. Okay, so from a single question you can apply the different formulas and you can calculate the answer as per your own choice. Okay, so let's move ahead and learn a few more things. So we have another question. It states that find the sum of first 18 terms, where first term is given as 5 and the last term is given as 25. Very quickly we will be able to find the answer. What we need to do, we just need to have the formula with us, and the formula states as, just give me a moment. Okay, so this is the question. Let's come to the formula, and it states as sum of n terms is equals to n by 2 a plus l, where a is what? Is the first term. L is what? L is the last term. So we have each and everything whatsoever we need is given within the question. Let's put these things within this. So n is what? 18. 18 by 2. The first term is 5. The last term is 25. Okay. So this would be what? 9. 9 into 30. Okay. The answer would be 270. Okay. So this is what this is the answer for this particular question, and I had demonstrated each and every formula through which we can calculate the sum of first n terms, where n could be 1, 2, 3, 4 and whatever the examiner wishes to ask from you. Now, if you have any doubt until over here, please do let me know so that I can solve it out. Moreover, if you don't have, let's move to the next part or the segment of our class, and it's very interesting for you. Okay, instead of applying hard labor and force, we will be doing smart work over here. Okay, let's see how an Olympiad kid can solve these questions within fraction of seconds. Okay, that too without pen and paper. Okay, come on, let's have a look. It states that you need to find the sum of 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 10. Now, what does it state? It states that you need to find the sum of first 10 terms. Now, let me tell you a different approach to solve these questions. Okay, let's see how we can solve this. Let me first elaborate you the question. Okay, now as per Olympiad, whenever you have 10 consecutive terms, consecutive means just one after another, there should not be any break within the terms. Okay, irrespective of the first term and the last term, they could be anything like 1, 53, 74, 109, whatever you wish to have as the first term, but the next term should be what? It should be consecutive. Now, whenever we have 10 consecutive numbers, we just need to follow 3 steps. Okay, and within these 3 steps you will get your answer. The very first step is count the 5th number from the left. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, whatsoever it is. In this case, this is 5. It could be 50, 27, 33 और anything else. ठीक है, जो भी नंबर आएगा आपको सिर्फ यहाँ पर उसको ऐसे लिख लेना है. ठीक. Now, the second step is just write a 5 behind it, and the third step is to have a smile. Okay, you have got your answer. The 55 would be the answer. You need to do nothing apart from this. Okay, just don't apply any formula within these 2 steps. You get your answer, and the third step is to smile. Okay, So you can calculate the sum of any 10 consecutive numbers by only this thing. What you need to do, count the fifth number from the left, whatsoever the number is, jot it down, and then just keep a beautiful small 5 just beside it, and you will get your answer. Okay, moving ahead, let's see another pattern. We have another pattern over here, and it states that you need to calculate the sum of now 20 numbers from 21 to 40. Now, how many terms you do have? You have 20 consecutive numbers. Okay, in this you need to do nothing, just follow some beautiful steps and you will get your answer. Okay, I'm not elaborating it, but to give you a context, I'm just writing a few more terms, like it states as this and goes up to 40. Okay, so it is like that. Now, to calculate the sum of consecutive 20 numbers, irrespective of the starting, what you need to do? Take the first number, take the last number. Easy peasy. The second step, add both of them. Good to go up to here. The third step, after the whatsoever the sum is, just put a 0 behind it and this would be your answer. Okay, so to calculate the sum of 20 consecutive numbers, you just need to do what? Take the first number, take the last number, add both of them and keep a 0 behind it and you will get your answer, okay, of the sum of these numbers. I hope so you have enjoyed this concept as well. Now you have a few homework questions. Okay, now I have a question over here which states that you need to calculate the sum of 20 consecutive numbers starting from 62 up to 80. The next question is you need to find the sum of the 10 consecutive digits or numbers starting from 75 to 84. You can do this very quickly. Okay, in fraction of seconds you can calculate it. You just need to do what? In the second question, just count the fifth number from the left and keep a 5 behind it. That would be your answer. First term, last term, addition, 0. That's it. Questions are solved. Okay, it's that much easy when you interact with what? With such beautiful numbers and concepts. Okay, so let's move ahead, and I have another question, that too of the topic for you, but you need to find the total number of squares given over here. Okay, I am taking a pause and let's make this homework a class work. Okay, let's have this thing over here. I will solve it right now. Okay, you can take a pause the video and try to count or solve whatever makes you happy, whatever things make you think that you can solve this very quickly. Okay, take your time. Okay, come on, let's start solving this. You can see over here that we have a number of squares. You might have got your answer as 16, 17 or whatever. Okay, now let me tell you what the question states over here is. It is an Olympiad level question and it states you need to find the total number of squares. How to calculate the total number of squares? See, what type of square it is? It is a 4 cross 4 grid square. Now, very easy peasy process we are going to have over here. Okay, just look and enjoy. Square these numbers and write the result. At first we mentioned the number, then we calculated the square and we wrote it over here. Now add all of them. How are you going to add? You are going to do the smart work. Okay, you won't be adding 16 plus 9. No, At first you will add 16 plus 4, that is 20. Now 9 plus 1 is 10. So 20 plus 10 is going to be 30. And this is your answer. There are total 30 numbers of squares in this given fantabulous figure. Now, many of you might think that how is it possible? So, for your brief, you can calculate and draw the squares whatsoever is possible. In the very first, you need to calculate the 1 cross 1, then 2 cross 2, then 3 cross 3, and then last but not the least, the 4 cross 4 square. And yes, definitely you will get the 30 squares as your answer. Okay, so this is the methodology to approach such questions. And yes, we are done as of now. So if you have any doubts, please feel free to ask me out, or please reach out the team by commenting below this video, and for sure we will reach you out. Okay, till then, thank you so much, and I hope so you have enjoyed your session. Please make sure to solve such questions and ask your doubts, and we will meet soon in the next video with the higher concepts of this particular session. Till then, bye bye. Thank you so much. Enjoy your day. Bye bye.